Hello.
Right. Hi, everybody. Hi, and welcome to our podcast for today. Today, we are speaking with the fabulous Mr. Tony, and Sheila has arrived just now. So we're going to be speaking to Sheila as well. So let's go back to Tony as he was scheduled. And if you saw Monica's wonderful post, it looked like he was actually levitating. So it looks like he's now come back down to earth to join us. And Tony is a world traveler. He's an entrepreneur. He's a spiritual guy, and he's also all about sound healing. So we're going to hear all about what he does and how he does it, and all sorts of things good from Tony. So I'll pass you over to Tony. Yay!
Well, hello, ladies. It's good to be on from across the pond here in the United States, talking to you beautiful people. I'm excited. I'm very honored to be part of what you guys are doing. Anytime we can spread some positive cheer and some good vibes, I'm all about it. So, Nikki, I thank you for the invite. Monica, obviously, you know how much I love you, girl. And Sheila, you know what? I'm actually starting to love you right now. I've never met you, but I actually love you too. No, I've been kind of in the as we all have been on a journey. Right. We've all been on a journey, and my journey's led me to some wonderful places. It's led me to some dark places so I could discover wonderful places. And in that, what I was attempting to do was figuring out this thing called life. You know, how can I live life at the fullest? And what can I add to my life? What can I remove from my life? And one of the things I added many, many years ago. Now I know why my mom forced me to play the guitar and learn an instrument when I was 5 years old. She said, Tony, you're going to learn how to play an instrument. I'm like, oh, mother, oh, gosh, I don't want to do that. But I'm so grateful that she did, because at a very young age, I understood the power of frequency and vibration and how I could get lost playing music. So anytime I was having a bad day, maybe my father came down on me or something like that, I would just go lock myself in my room. I'd play my guitar and I'd get lost. And so here I am 50 years later, and I'm still really immersed into, now more than ever, the magic and the power that is sound and vibration. So now I have the toys behind me, as you guys can see. I'm actually in my office. And when I come in my office, before I usually start any work, I'll jump on a bowl. I'll play something just to set the tone, set the vibration, so that I can open up a portal to allow creativity to happen or productivity to happen or whatever it is for me. And sound has been such a blessing in my life. So I'm really excited to share it with people that have not gone down that path yet, because it was a path that once I was down it, I was like, oh, this is good. Like, this is what my body needs. This is what I needed to help me cope through so many different things. So I'm very excited.
Yeah, because just before we actually came on, I was really frazzled because at the village, we've got lots of people who are coming and going, and the guys who normally look after it are still stuck in America. So I'm busy being, the cleaner, the pool cleaner, the grass cutter, when various people don't turn up and stuff. So I was really frazzled, and Tony he hit this gong thing or something, and it was really good.
Something like that, Nikki?
Yes, except that's making me going round in circles. But the other one will calm me down. I don't need lifting up anymore, thanks. No problem.
Yeah.
So, yes, absolutely. So, yes. Okay, so how does sound healing actually help people?
Yeah, so as you may or may not know, one of the things I teach on is this whole idea of frequency and vibration and energy. Energy isn't everything. Vibration isn't everything. Frequency isn't everything. Even the things that we don't think, like, for example, a rock. People go, well, it's a rock. There's no way that rock has any energy, any frequency. There's no way. Well, why is it when you're walking down the beach and all of a sudden you're drawn to that rock and you just go through the sand, you find this rock and you look at it? There was something energetically about that rock, right, that was calling on you. And so we know that frequencies and everything, and every emotion, every feeling, We have energy running through our bodies. We have blocked energy that is stuck in our bodies. And what sound has the ability to do, unlike any other thing I've done, you guys, and I've done, I've traveled the world. I've meditated in the Amazon. For weeks. I've done all kinds of things, and the one thing that has always healed me in a way that no other modality that I know has is sound. Sound has the ability through tuning, through different frequencies, through different hertz levels, to actually go in and open up things that are blocked. We've heard of ultrasound that the doctors use, right? So all these frequencies that are locked in our body, that I don't know if that muting, is that something we can mute, Monica? Or do you guys hear that on your end or no?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, is it maybe somebody inside here? Can mute? Maybe who knows? But so
we have gremlins in here. We have gremlins.
Well, there's a lot of energy in this group. I can feel it. But so sound has the ability, you guys, to go in and create a space, create openings. And for example, like this bowl right here is tuned to the sound to G. And G at this hertz level, it actually helps people that have their root chakra, for those people that know what chakras are. But your root chakra, which is at the base of your spine, we play this long enough, and that sound, that vibration can actually create an opening on something that's maybe blocked in your root chakra area. So when I do healings, the first thing I do is I do a little bit of breath work, but then I go straight into sound, and we work on areas of that person's body that they're having problems with. They have stomach issues, if they have headaches, if they have, arthritis, all these different ailments. You guys, sound is an amazing healer and an amazing teacher. So that's how it happens. It's a frequency that goes in and kind of breaks up the other frequency that might be blocked. And in doing that creates an opening. When you have open channels of vibration and open channels, wires that are open, then you can start healing. You can start feeling something. Like, for example, Nikki, you felt like you were levitating, right? So you get to the point, if you get really in tune with these bowls and really in tune with sound, just for example, the sound of the ocean for so many people is such a calming, peaceful thing. Why is that? Well, it's at a certain frequency that causes this peaceful, calm feeling. The sound of crickets. People love the sound of crickets, the sound of a fire. All this is vibration. All this is frequency. And these different things affect us differently. And so anything that we hear, anything that we see, anything that we're exposed to, you guys, has energy and frequency. You do sound with something, you add a whole, it's icing on the cake. It's the icing on the cake for you.
Yeah. Recently, not recently, actually, it was a bit of time ago. I actually went to one of those, sound sort of, I don't know what they're called, actually, because I don't know what they're called, because you Americans have all these weird names for them. But when you go into that place and they do sounds that are supposed to open you up and do that sort of thing. It was sort of like, I suppose it was a sound healing, except it was done, people were just playing different sounds, ping, ping here and there. And it was the most horrendous thing, because it was just, for me, I was just sort of, it wasn't going anywhere. What is the difference that makes, when somebody does it well and somebody does it badly, why is that? And what's the difference? Why is it that sometimes it works so well and sometimes it doesn't?
Yeah. So one thing you don't want to have is cross frequencies that don't sound good together. If anybody on here is a musician, everybody's ever heard of somebody sing on tune? It sounds good. If you have somebody singing on tune and somebody that's singing with them that doesn't sound in tune and they sound terrible together, imagine how powerful that is when you've got these bowls, which are they're made to actually go in at a certain level, and some of them don't sound good. And that's why some people when they're laying there, they're like, "Oh my God, my head's starting to hurt. My head's buzzing. This is weird." You want to get up, but you don't. So you have to have a kind of understand what notes go together. You have to understand kind of what you're doing. And that's why when I do any of my sound work, I call it here's what I call it. Out here, they call it, in the United States, they call it like sound healers, a sound bath. a sound experience. Those types of words.
Yeah,
I
mine was
call
a sound
mine,
bath.
it's sound bath, yeah. I call mine a symphonic activation experience. So I'm well beyond a basic sound bath, because what I do is I use there's more bowls I have actually downstairs, but I use these bowls and I do them in a way where I gradually move through different parts of your body, not where you're having, I'm talking to your head with one, I'm talking with your root with another, and then I'm washing it down with something in your stomach. That's not going to feel really good, right? So we want to gradually kind of open things up in this kind of like in the system, and then get them all in attunement together, and then you can kind of move around and play, different bowls together, that type of thing. But you got to get very careful. And some people leave these sound baths and they're like worse coming out than when they went in, kind of like what you did.
I think this was a sound hurricane. I mean, it was all over the place. There was somebody even tinging this little sort of triangle thing every now and again for no rhyme or reason. It just went ding, and everything else was yeah.
Well,
Okay,
Nikki,
I understand that it needs to be sort of all through you and things like that. Yeah.
Well, in fairness to you though, sweetheart, you're like, people that are connected more so are going to be more sensitive to different sounds, right? So for people that have done a lot of work in this space, like I have people come up to me before that I do my experience and like, Tony, so I'm an empath, and so I'll feel everybody's energy, and they put themselves in this space before it even happens. So once I know that, then I'll just say, I just want you to relax, just stay in the room with me, and just focus in on you. For the first time, just focus in on you. And it's in that focus, when you're allowing the sound to move through you and you're feeling the energy, that things can happen. Like you start to deal with stuff, you start to travel to other dimensions, you start to, that back pain that you had when you came in, like it is gone. Like I've had miracles happen in 90 minutes during my experience, like miracles that people are unable to explain. And I just smile, I just go, oh, that's so good. That's wonderful. Good. Because we have so many great things at our disposal, sound being one of them, that we can heal ourselves with. We don't have to go to the doctor. We don't have to have a shot. We don't have to have if we would just take the time out to understand what's happening and know that there's different modalities, whether it be breath work or meditation or walk with nature or playing a bowl, we can heal ourselves. And I've done that many, many times in my 54 years. I've broken things, I've shredded things, I've ripped things, and I've always healed myself through sound, always. So you can do it.
Great. Yeah, that's absolutely wonderful. Okay, let's see if we bring on Sheila. And hi, Sheila. Do you want to unmute yourself?
Hello.
Hi, sweetheart.
How's everyone tonight?
We're sort of talking about sound healing. Is that something that you're knowledgeable about, or is that something that you could ask Tony some questions on, or what would you like to say?
Well, I could relate to a lot of what he was saying, because I love sound, and I really believe in the power of sound healing. However, I'm tone deaf. So that's really interesting, because I'm one of the people, if I start singing next to a person who can sing really well, it'll sound bad. But I do appreciate sound healing, and I've gone to sound baths and sound healing sessions and have gotten a lot out of them. I haven't had any bad experiences like you, Nikki, but yeah, so it's all been really positive for me. And I was just coming on today to learn more and possibly hear some great sounds.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I appreciate you sharing that, Sheila. The great thing, even though if you're pitch deaf, tone deaf, or whatever, your body's going to take on that vibration. It's going to feel it, right? So, which is great. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I've also had some healings with tuning forks, which I found very powerful, and I could actually feel my body vibrating at different sounds and frequencies, and it was amazing. I just loved it. Yeah,
good for you.
Yeah,
keep doing more of it. Do more of it. If it feels good, do more of it.
Absolutely.
That's my $1 million message to everybody. Hey, it feels good and you're healing. Do more of it.
Yes.
Yeah. Good.
So thank you for sharing your knowledge with us today, and I look forward to hearing everything you have to say.
Good. Yeah. Well, I'll be more than happy to play some bowls for you guys in a few moments as we get maybe closer to more questions answered or whatever else we want to do, Nikki.
Okay. Oh, can I just say one thing? I have a meeting at 12, so if I hop off, it's no offense to anyone, please. I just have another meeting at noon, my time. So another 35 minutes.
I'm sure that will be fine. Nikki has disappeared, but she's back again. She's doing that disappearing act, honestly, Nikki.
I know. I honestly, I'll tell you what I just did. I just put I put my cable on my telephone, to shore up the battery and things. And I think maybe it might even be my fault. Anyway, yes, I am back. So maybe I was making all that noise because it seems to have disappeared.
Yeah, much better. Thank you.
Yeah. Right.
Yes.
Okay, we're back.
We have Angel. Yes, we are back. You are back.
What were we talking about? Sorry, what were we talking about? Still sound healing, and Sheila finished saying what she wanted to say.
Yeah. Yes, and also she warned us she might leave our live because she's got another meeting. So we can move on to Angel perhaps.
Yeah, Angel. Hello, sweetheart.
Hello. I'm so happy to be here, Monica. Thank you for your this wonderful. I'm talking to you. Can you hear me? Yes. Okay. And I wanted to say with sound healing. In a metaphysical store, Lightworkers Gifts. So I so understand Tony, and being diagnosed with lupus, fibromyalgia, arthritis, Sjogren's diagnosed. I don't own it, and using the tone, using whatever tone. And you mentioned Sheila about the tuning forks, very powerful. And the thing is it doesn't matter what it is. And Tony, we might kind of have a back and forth, but you know what? Sometimes it doesn't matter if it's the tuning forks, if it's humming to myself, it's toning my seed sound of rum from my solar plex, to listening to AC/DC, to listening to Katy Perry and dancing. It's the vibrational field, because quantum physics tells us everything is energy. Everything is energy and frequency. So I'm really thinking I'm just mirroring you and echoing what you have to say, because it's so amazing when we think. But I have had so many of my students, and I really want to talk to everybody that's coming on that maybe is brand new, that you feel like you have to be in this all the time, like you have to be in this place. And many people would say to me, Angel, your meditations are high level. And yeah, they are. Why? There's a time, yes, to be in that place. And you choose and give yourself permission to be in silence. It's very important, yes. But I have to tell you that most of the time when we're in silence, our brain comes in. And remember, we have two things that we think about, right? Two things. It's only two. Either you're coming from here and it's struggle and fear, or you're coming from here and it's acceptance and love. When you're coming from here, you're listening to that vibrational tone, and it's connecting you. So beautiful. So I have to admit, Tony, and hi, Lana. Yay, Lana. Yay, good to see Lana. She was on the Healing Circle. Oh, I can't wait to have you, Tony, on the Healing Circle. I'm going to have to ask you. Anyway, I get excited. Is Tony, for me, the gong?
I know.
And there is a guy, I teach Tai Chi on Saturday mornings, and he's set up, it's at the park, but he's set up with a really big one like yours that I see in the back.
Yeah.
Really big. And it sounds good, like when he does it, but then when he starts to go, it just sounds like noise to me. And it really irritates me. So tell me about, and I know you kind of explained to Nikki that there's different ways, but why does everybody's different? So go ahead, maybe.
Yeah. So again, sensitivity plays a big part in and how people respond to sounds. Some people love when that gong gets moving, and we'll let people get a taste of what that feels like. So people understand. Well, I've never heard a gong play like that. But when that gong gets moving, if there's something probably potentially that you're hanging on to, you're blocking, you're fighting, you're in debate with, whatever the case may be, that sound could be very discomforting for people. Some people, though, love that crash. It's called a crash. That crash where it's just shimmering back and forth because opening is happening, and it's a sound that most people have never heard in their life before. And so when it happens, it's very welcome. So again, people that are have gone through this process, that are free spirited and energy's flowing through them, something that dramatic will have an impact on you, and it might not be pleasant. The only thing you're thinking is, oh my God, is this going to end? It's like, please let this end. And I'm right in front of it playing, and I'm just like you. Like, I have a lot of energy flowing through me all the time. But again, it's how you play it, and you don't have to with the gong. You don't have to blow anybody out of the water. You don't have to try to crush somebody's skull with it. There's ways you can do it. And but yes, I get it. The good thing is, since sound is, we're always in and out of sound, whether it be listen to AC/DC or listen to a bull. I love what you said, that you don't have to go to the closet, shut the door, and be completely quiet and do this. I have sound playing throughout my house all day long, and every room has its own vibe. So one room you're going to go into, like the living room, you're going to feel like you're in Las Vegas at the Luxor in like a groove lounge. It's just this happy, vibrant, feels good. People go, hey, I love the energy in your house. And you go down the hallway towards my room, and it sounds like you're in the Amazon. I've got crickets that are playing nonstop. And then I usually have something very jello-ish in here, right? And then you go to my wife's room, there could be country music on for all I know. But every room gives you a different vibration. You could have reggae in a room that gives you kind of a, reggae outside on the deck, and it just kind of keeps you in this nice flowing state. Yes, go ahead.
I think one of the points too is for everybody that's listening that doesn't understand, is that sound healing, also that vibrational tone is actually breaking through the waves of some things that might be injured, could be damaged, could be wanting to shift. And sometimes it's irritating. And people will come and say, Angel, cannot handle like this incense. This incense smells so bad, or this essential oil. And I said, you know what? You probably need it. Look it up, because your body is going to that scent. It's the same with the sound.
Yeah.
Because you actually need to resonate with it and a lot of times it might be, you need to ground yourself, to ground them more, because when you ground, then you can handle that. And it's actually that breakdown to be the breakthrough. So for everyone, if you don't like those sounds, some of the sounds, even bowls or the tingsha bells, I use those a lot, and they sound differently, take some more time to ground, be in that center. And Tony, do you agree? Is that something that you've found too?
Yeah, I do a lot of pre-setting up or pre-framing what's about to happen. So when something does happen, like for example, you might hear a sound that feels so good that you don't want me to move. You don't want me to change that sound. And there'll be a sound that you hear where your face starts itching, you start to get uncomfortable. So I tell them all of this so that when it does happen, they know it. The second thing is these sounds are going to affect everybody differently. And if something is uncomfortable, I always tell people that we get to a place of surrendering, which a lot of healing, you have to surrender. You have to be open to it. You have to be accepting of it. And then when in that acceptance, that's when the real magic can happen. Only going to be uncomfortable for a bit. I've had people hear the gong and go, oh my God, what was that? They're all freaked out. And all of a sudden they settle in. And then afterwards they go, what was that big noise that you were playing? They go, did you even play the gong? I go, yeah, I played the gong. I played the gong for 20 minutes. Oh my God, I love that thing. And I go, well, you didn't like it at the beginning. So it's same thing. I never liked mushrooms as a kid. Now all I eat is mushrooms. We change, we evolve, things like that. The sound will do its thing, and eventually you'll get to a place where you go, oh, hey, you know what? Initially, not so much, but now since I'm settled in, I've accepted, I've trusted, I've let go, I've surrendered, whatever words you want to use, all of a sudden now there is some peace in that sound. And it's amazing. And in that peace is where all the magic happens, right? And then we go on to the next one, and the next one doesn't feel so bad. Then we get to one like, oh my gosh, that one's, it's a process. That's why I do it for 90 minutes. Like it's 90 minutes of immersion into, you're going to let go. Whether you like it or not, you're going to surrender because on my watch, you're going to relax and you're going to enjoy it. And you're going to deal with whatever you need to deal with, however your body needs to deal with it. It's going to happen. Just, it's all good. It's sound. It's all good. There are worse things you can listen to, like a crying baby that, like my son was colicky for the first year. That sound is a sound I don't want to ever hear again. A colicky baby for 1 year of his life. Don't want to hear that song again, that sound again. Anyway, thanks, Angel, for sharing. That's awesome. I love it. Love it. Love it. I love people that are in this space because you know that, you know, the different benefits of it all. And you know, when there's friction, when there's fighting and there's something that doesn't feel right, that's like the darkness. And in the darkness, that light's there, right? So we just gotta use our strength and allow it to happen in a safe environment. One of the things I do, and Monica knows this, like one of the things I do, I create a very safe container for about what's happening because I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what you're dealing with. I don't know what physical, mental, spiritual, emotional trauma that somebody's bringing to my show. And it's so beautiful because afterwards I'll go around the room and say, does anybody want to share their experience? And people talk about their stepfather coming up and people talking about this person. And I got to see my mother before she died and all. It's beautiful. Sound will heal you if you just surrender and allow it to do its thing without any expectation, without any, I hope this fixes me. I'm also a certified hypnotherapist. People would come to me, I want you to fix me. I want you to fix me. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're my last resort. I'm like, oh geez, it's probably not going to happen.
Well, thank you, God. I so appreciate it. And there's so many different ways to really step into the sound.
Sure.
It's like you have mastered that. So thank you for what you do.
You're welcome. I love it. So any other questions? Somebody asked, do I use color along with my healing practice? When I do my activation experiences, this whole area, so when people come see me, like if I'm at an event, when they walk into my space, color is very, very prominent. I use a lot of blues. I use a lot of greens. People will immediately feel a certain sense of something wonderful just when they walk in. Now, when I do my sound, everybody lays on their back and their eyes are closed. I don't really have to at that point to bring colors into it, because what will happen is people usually, generally, not all the time, will see colors as I'm moving through the different energy centers without me having to say anything. Like I don't go, hey, I'm now going to the heart energy center and now we're going to focus on the color green. I don't want that kind of pressure. I don't want that kind of pressure. People usually will see and feel something as I'm moving up. Always afterwards, people go, God, I saw the color blue a lot, or I saw the color yellow a lot. I saw the most interesting purple I've ever seen in my life a lot. Good. Mission accomplished. We did good. So a lot of people are not visual. So if I say focus on the color orange while your eyes are closed, it's like there's a lot of pressure that we don't need to put in a situation like that. But it's a great question. I will use color though before, and when people wake up, I use color afterwards. So they wake up in a space where it just feels like people don't want to leave. Like I've had people say, no, I'm staying. Like we're going to be getting a room together. We're going to be roommates. We're getting a condo. Like you're always going to be with me. I always want to do sound every day of my life. So some people don't want to wake up from their experience, so it's beautiful.
Right. I mean, have you got some more questions?
Yeah, Deanna is amazing. She's got a great question. This is important. So Nikki, this goes back to the thing you talked about at the very beginning. Like when people are playing all these notes and you were like going, oh my gosh, this is very difficult. So yes, there are certain notes that work on certain parts of the body. There's these things called hertz. which is a frequency that everything is recorded at different hertz levels. We all have our own frequency. The earth has its own frequency. Every creature has its own frequency. Mother Nature has its own frequency. And so when we hear these frequencies, they all have different healing properties. So for example, if somebody wants to remove pain, physical pain. So if you're somebody that goes, oh my God, my shoulder, my back, and you keep telling yourself that story, I have a bad back, I have a bad shoulder. Number one, you're going to always have a bad back and a bad shoulder. So you have to change your story. Right, Angel? You got to change your story. I used to have a bad back. I used to have a bad back because I'm so active, you guys. I'm climbing mountains. I'm jumping off bridges. I'm a crazy little, 54-year-old, 7-year-old, right? So I've had a bad back like for 10 years of my life. And every day I'd go, oh gosh, my back. Oh gosh, my back. And guess what? I always had, oh gosh, my back problems until I said, you know what? I don't have that anymore. I found sound. So for example, to remove like physical pain, all you have to do is you can go to this thing called Google and you can type in hertz to remove pain. And you'd find that 174 hertz level music, anything recorded at that level or any sounds recorded at 174 Hz will give you a feeling of your physical pain starting to go away. If you're looking to improve, open up your heart and connect with yourself deeper, then you want to listen to something that's like 528. 528 is like what they call the miracle hertz recorded level. It's the sound of the earth. It's the sound of love. It's a very powerful sound. To sound something like this. I'll show you guys. Here's kind of what it sounds like. So if you had something like this playing, Sheila, this would open up your heart. You would fall in love with everyone and you would love yourself more. Oh my gosh. This is tuned to your heart, Deanna, so that helps you there too. So there are different, the bowls are tuned to different parts of energy centers in your body that help release different things, whether it be trauma, whether it be guilt, whether it be stress, all these different things. You just have to have somebody that knows, number one, what you're dealing with, and then be able to work around using the bowls and different other instruments to help you have an opening, to create a space for healing to begin. So, but yes, there's all kinds. I recommend going to like Google and just typing in Hertz HZ music to help me sleep, HZ music to help me have energy, HZ music for abundance in my life. And there's all these great artists that recorded songs that are peaceful, that sound amazing, that have some subliminal underlying frequencies embedded into the track that you'll feel these beautiful things. And the thing with music and sound, you guys, you have to be consistent. You have to be consistent. Like every day I'm immersed into sound. Every day I'm playing my bowls. Every day I'm hitting my gong. Every day I'm doing things. If I feel like I'm out of balance, whatever, like I'll go, okay, what do I feel? Oh, I feel this, and I'll go find a bowl. I'll find the tool to help me deal with that. Okay, so it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun to be like a little doctor scientist and figure out how to heal yourself. It's fun. You can do it naturally and painlessly. Okay, no shots, no medication. You don't have to be medicated anymore. I can assure you, your body is the best doctor on the planet. Angel's going to do some aerobics or something. What are you doing, sweetheart?
So I just need this.
I love it. She's feeling it. I love it. God, this woman is amazing. Any other questions? You guys want to hear a gong?
I have one question, sorry. But please, I feel we've already responded to that. It's from Lana, who says, different sounds affect my psyche. Others soothe me. Crystals balls really bother my ears. So I guess we've covered that. That's
yeah.
Everything which is pleasant is good for us.
Yeah, it is. It's one of those things. It's an acquired taste, just like anything is. And something like a crystal bowl versus like a Tibetan bowl, they do have a different sound, a different kind of vibe to them. I would just find something that feels good And then maybe if it's something that this person's not done for a period of time, is maybe find some consistency in it. So you actually start to allow your body and your mind and your spirit and your soul and everything to embrace actually what's happening. So again, a lot of people show up at a sound bath, and for some, it's just not a enjoyable experience. They much rather go to like a Garth Brooks concert or something. It's a different thing. It's a different thing.
If I can elaborate on that, is also, Lana, since I know Lana, and I know that you channel, and you do that, and you do, and many of us do, maybe start with something small. Like I have bells. They're at all the locations in my room, in my house, and I'll just ring a bell, especially if I have a client come in and I want to clear the energy. I'll just use a little bell, like I found it, like $1 or something. It's not just a little bell, but then also to take the tingsha bells. You probably have those. If you can grab them, Tony, and show what I'm saying, that'd be great. And the tingsha bells really help to when you want to start. It's just like a baby step to sound. But the thing is a tingsha bells are different because you don't want to buy tingsha bells online. You want to be able to go someplace and hear it, because they'll be different. People come to my house and I do them when I do Reiki sessions and clearing, and they're like, oh, I love those. And then they'll order them, and then they'll call me and say, Angel, that doesn't sound the same. Well, you're not the same person. You're not in the same vibration that you are in my home when we do the healing, because you're different. So the tingsha bells are really powerful, because Lana, start little. Everybody start little with these tones, because otherwise you get annoyed, and annoyance will stop you and you won't continue. So I really encourage you to find something small that starts you with the hertz. And 528, that is the ultimate.
Yeah.
So I hope it helps.
Great, Angel, such a great thing. It's like it's kind of like picking out a stone or crystals for those people that go down that. It's physically, mentally, spiritually not the right thing to do. Just order something online like that. This is something that usually in this space of spiritual healing, it's something you gravitate to. It's something that you resonate with. Like, for example, I don't have my bells because they're at Ryan's house, Monica. So I left them there. But something as simple as like this, something as simple as this can be something that can start that process for somebody that's getting ready to go down deeper into like bowls and things like this. You can do something very simple, just to kind of get you in that space to condition yourself that something's about to happen. These Koshi bells, I love these. Again, something's done like this in conjunction with like a crystal, bowl. If we were to do a bowl, if we had a bowl going, like that, and then you had something playing just nice, just to kind of create this nice, peaceful environment you can. So there's all kinds of things. I know Angel's got her chime. There she goes.
These are tingsha bells. There's 7 different metals, and there's the same metals that are in us. And what they do is they align chakras.
Oh, I love it. Oh.
And some people that you might be listening right now, this might be annoying to you. But yet there might be clearing out. So I just wanted to show that, because anybody can do the tingsha bells and this little bell. Anybody can do it. Nikki, get used to it, because the biggest one on this and that I do is this one. And I put it right on the side, and it helps me to balance my energy, because I go so fast.
So then what you can do, and these are just toys, you guys. These are little toys. These are, most guys my age, they have their truck. They got their garage and stuff like that. They got all their tools. Well, here's what I got. These are my tools. So something like this.
That geometric shape also has to do with vibration too.
I could put this over somebody's head or their body for a few minutes, and whatever challenges or troubles they've had in their life, it goes away. This will vibrate for about 2 minutes without even touching it. And the frequency changes. It's tuned to every one of your energy centers in your body. But what if something like this, it costs, whatever, a couple $100, whatever. What if something like this healed somebody from fibromyalgia, from their stomach problems, from sleepless nights, is something like this worth it? And so we encourage people to, through sound, is find out what it is for you. Go to a sound bath and say, hey, there was one instrument. I get this all the time. Hey, there was one instrument that you played that it sounded like, I don't know, I felt like I was out in the wilderness with natives, with Indians. Well, that was probably my flute. So I tell people, go learn how to play the flute. Hey, what was that one sound that sounded like I was in Australia out in the outback? Well, that might have been my didgeridoo. So you guys, we can learn how to do this ourselves. And something as simple, you could literally hang this somewhere, like above your head or above a chair, hit it one time and just sit underneath it for 5 minutes. And I can assure you, whatever challenges you were having before you walked into this, they're gone. I'm sorry, you're going to be in another zip code. Or if you put this on. Okay.
I love it. I love his energy. Yes, yes. And he jumps off cliffs too, just like me. Yay!
Yeah. I know. And you're probably, are you 7 or 8? Because I'm 7. You guys, what I'm so passionate about, obviously Angel's passionate about, Nikki, Monica, you guys, we're all passionate about this, Sheila too, once we have figured out like how to vibrate higher, like how to truly experience life at the way that we feel life should be. Like I made a decision when I was 11 years old. I grew up in a really bad environment with my stepfather. And when I was 11 years old, I was at a teeter-totter in Houston, Texas. It was 105 degrees. And I said, I'm going to choose happiness for the rest of my life because I know what the opposite of happiness was. And I didn't want that. And every decision I've made is, how do I honor myself? How do I stay happy? How do I stay healthy? How do I stay in a positive, happy state? And finding music and diving into music and traveling the world and meeting some really wonderful people and asking them, questions. You guys, the worst thing you can do is sit back and just go, okay, this is the way it is. Or the best thing you can do is ask questions like, hey, how do I do this? And is it possible to do this? And what can I learn to help me with this? You guys, this is where the fun part of life is when you're learning and you're growing and you're experiencing something as simple as how this bell ringing can immediately transport you to a place. Like it can go anywhere you want. And the more you do it, the more we condition ourselves to accept this in our lives, the easier it is for us to go. The easier for us to just go where we want to go, heal what we want to heal, feel what we want to feel. But we have to, it's a practice. That's why I tell people everything that I do, this is like me brushing my teeth. Like I play my gong every day. I do my bells every day. And that's why at 54 years old, I feel like I'm 6. Well, 7. I said 7 earlier. So I feel like I'm 6.5. It's because I'm doing things to honor my temple. And my temple wants to be happy, healthy, and vibrate at a high level. So what do I got to do? Well, sound, meditation, breath work, eat right, have a great environment of people that I'm around. And this life is easy, So
I love that because that's one thing. It's if the more that you say it's easy, it's easy, it's easy. Hello, it's easy, no matter what it is, and create that. Thank you, Tony, so much.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Anybody else have any questions? How are we doing, Monica? Good.
We are doing well. We've got Rob Sidbone saying he's very impressed with what we've been talking about, and you, Tony, yourself. So a bit of flattering here. And there were no other questions on my side. But if I can put my penny in, I'm probably the only one here who actually experienced Tony's work. I went all the way across the pond to Los Angeles to meet our friends and experience a transformation day. And I didn't know Tony was providing that sound healing experience. So little I knew before I found myself enjoying 90 minutes of beautiful sound symphony. That's the right way to call it. I have to admit there were sounds which I absolutely hated, and there were sounds which I loved. But there were this sort of symphony was. It's almost like an orchestra, isn't it? It's listening to an orchestra. You listen to someone who knows what he's doing, playing those exciting new instruments. They're playing sounds which we rarely hear, at least I do, at the time. And it is a journey. There is a frequency journey happening there. I don't know where I went, but I went somewhere during that journey. And I was very lucky to have that experience as my first exposure to sound healing. So thank you, Tony. And I will also add that, of course, being immersed in the sounds is the best way. But you can also try and find those sounds on YouTube. Put your headphones in and enjoy it that way. It's not going to be as powerful, but still works. So yes, thank you, Tony. It was a wonderful introduction to my experience with sound healing.
Thank you so much. I'm glad that was your first experience. I have a 40 minutes. I would love to give to everybody that's watching and anybody that watches the replay. I have a 40-minute event that I recorded. It was a live event, but for those that actually it's probably 50 something minutes. For those that want that, I'll make sure, Monica, I send you the link so you have that. And I'll ask you to put your headphones on and no expectation. Just write it out and just enjoy what sound can do for you. And my goal is to have everybody falling in love with the feeling and wanting more of it. So how do I recreate the feeling that Tony created or what I felt during that experience? And then spend the rest of your life figuring out how to get back to that state, and then it's easy. So I will send that to you, Monica, for sure. Unless you have it, but if you don't have it, I'll try to.
Probably I have it, but I would like to make sure I've got the right one, the one you really want to share with our members.
Perfect.
And I guess you as part of this journey, as you said, some sounds will not resonate well, but they are important as well in the healing journey. So do not fast forward, I would say.
Yeah, I have it right here for you. I put it right here in this link. Will you be able to take it and send it to people if I put it here in the chat?
Yes, I will.
All right. It should come up. Yeah.
I want to give this.
And I want to just say with Monica, there is no shortcuts, everyone. And we want to take the pill, the green pill, the red pill. I mean, we really do in this spirituality. People say, Angel, how do I get really good at meditation? Well, if you want to get really good at doing Tai Chi, you have to practice. So you have to practice. And if something's not resonating, please don't fast forward. But like I said, just do the little steps. You don't need to do 90 minutes. That's okay. Just start out with 3 minutes and just start out. So wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah, you know what? Because you and I are in tune, here's a 20-minute version. So you have the little baby steps for those who have never gone down that road. Here you go. And this is that second one. There's 20 minutes. The first one there's 54 minutes. So yes, you guys, you have to, you just got to drop in baby steps, and then as you want more, then you can take bigger steps. But yeah, just find out what feels good for you. Right? Again, it might not be for you, but you might like bells. You might like forks. You might like, just listening to stuff on YouTube or listening to just music. Maybe you don't like the sound of something raw, like a crystal or something. So find something and add that something to your daily regimen or your process, and you'll see the benefit of that. And eventually you'll gravitate to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. That's what I have. I've always gravitated to the next thing, next thing. And it's beautiful.
Yeah, and the big one too, to go on that too, Tony, is really, really invite everybody to give yourself permission to take 3 minutes to 5 minutes and do something different that you've never done before. And that is the big one, is to take the time.
Yep, you are.
Time for yourself. Yes.
That's my big thing. We have to be selfish, and selfish is not a bad word. It's actually a really good word, because the more selfish I can be, yeah,
self-centered, centered on self-centered. It's beautiful.
If I'm that, like, my wife knows the second I'm not being selfish. She's like, "Did you meditate this morning? You got me." So I know that. So the better that I am here, the better I'm for everybody out there. So I have to, not that I want to, it's like I have to. For me, it's like part of what I have to make sure I'm doing my process in the morning. I do my gratitude list before I even jump out of bed. Like, in my head, I take 5 beautiful breaths and just take it all in. And then I go to my little office, and before I look at Facebook and before I do all the acidic stuff that's surrounding me, is I do my meditation. If it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour, I never know, no expectation. And then once I'm ready. And then look out, world, because I know something magical and beautiful is going to happen. So
magical and beautiful every single time, because we're in service. To be in service, to just give.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
Thank you so much tonight. I have to run. I have a client coming up.
Thank you so much,
Pleasure. Let's be in touch.
And Sheila, and thank you for your contribution. Thank you for the link for our members to experience that sound healing. And we'll see you soon, guys.
Yes,
yes.